Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily if it is your first time here, and in today's video we're going to be doing my shop my stash. So again, I've started doing these every 2 weeks just because I don't like falling into a routine with makeup. I constantly want to be rotating things using my collection. I have started doing these a lot more frequently. So this is the look that I came up with everything in the next 2 weeks shop my stash, and we are going to go through last month's bag and show you all the products that will be, I keep saying month, in the next bag, you know? So there are 4 items that will be staying in the bag that they basically always stay in there. I have my NYX glitter primer, my Milani Make It Last setting spray. I use setting sprays until I completely use them up. My Huda Beauty hyaluronic or hydra pumping lip balm. I'm pretty sure it has hyaluronic acid in it. And then my Becca under eye brightening corrector. Of course, my mirror, lash curler, and sponge will also be in there. Those are the tools that I use daily. And so let's just go through last month's bag and tell you all my thoughts and feelings on everything. So first we have my Benefit Hula bronzer, and this is, you know, a great bronzer, but Benefit is actually not cruelty free, which I feel like I didn't know. Maybe I did know, I don't know. They're not cruelty free though. And so while I love this bronzer, I will not ever be repurchasing it again until Benefit goes cruelty free. I have my Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is like seriously so close to being done. I used it almost every single day this past month, and like this is literally all that's left in it, just that little corner. I use this almost every day the past, I think I had this one for 3 weeks, so the past 3 weeks I used it like every single day, and I just can't wait till I get that in again so I can use it up. I had my Alamar Cosmetics Pero Primero primer, and I loved this primer. It was really the first time I had used this, and I really got to experiment with not setting down my eyeshadow primer, and I loved it. My eyeshadows were so much more vibrant, and it was actually quite easy to blend, which was very shocking to me. Next we have my Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. Why is that so hard to say? And I honestly only like this one applied with a sponge, and I apply my foundations with a brush. So this is kind of like it kind of like, I don't like using it, but since I have it, I will, you know, use it till it's gone. But I just have to remember that I have to apply this with a sponge, or else it just looks so dry and heavy on my skin, which is super strange. Then we have my CoverGirl Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. I'm not a huge pressed powder person, but this one actually looked super nice all over my face, so I really enjoy this powder. Then we have this Marc Jacobs Sequins Glam Glitter Eyeshadow in the shade Flashlight. This was so gorgeous. It's just so pretty and reflective. I wore this on top of a few looks and on itself a few times, and it's just perfection. It's so pretty, and I definitely want to try to pick up more of these. This ColourPop Lippie Stix in the shade Love Life, this was actually super versatile. I found that I was able to sheer it out, and it looked like this gorgeous, like just ate a popsicle type of look. And I also wore it as its full, like kind of orangey terracotta red shade a few times, and I just really enjoyed it. Then we have my Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush in the shade Nude Flesh, and I really did enjoy this blush, but I found that I had to apply it with a brush. When I applied it with a sponge, it just soaked up all the product, and you like literally couldn't even see any of the blush on my cheeks. So I had to apply this with a brush, which I didn't like hate, but it just, that's not my favorite application for a cream blush. And then we have the Pat McGrath Labs Opulust gloss in the shade Naked Rose. What's interesting about this gloss is that when you wear it on its own, like over a lip liner, it seriously looks so metallic on the lips, and I don't really like metallic lips. That's just not really my vibe, and pretty versatile product as well. Then we have this NYX Slide On Glide On lip liner in the shade Red Tape, and if I'm being honest, I don't actually think I sharpened it once the past 3 weeks. weeks. Maybe I did once, but I also find that red lip liners and like kind of like more plummy berry tones are actually pretty versatile as well. I use them for everything. I mean, the lip liner that I have in the next round of my Shop My Stash is a darker kind of red plummy shade, and I'm wearing it today and you can't even tell. So I really enjoyed that lip liner. Then we have my Patrick Ta tinted brow wax and then my little spray bottle of water, and I feel like I made really good progress on this. Again, I used it every single day and I'm just kind of getting bored with it. Not that I don't love it, I just like was itching to use a different brow product, so I pulled something else in for the next rotation. Then we have the Sugar Cosmetics Stroke of Genius Heavy Duty Kohl in the shade Purple Rain. This is a really gorgeous purple eyeliner and I use it quite often. It is a softer formula, so I didn't find that it was super long lasting in my waterline, but it is a really gorgeous shade of purple. And then we have my NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick in the shade Pitch Black. This is one of my absolute favorite eyeliner formulas. I have 2 other shades of this now and I just really enjoyed that liner. Then we have the Fenty Beauty Full Frontal Mascara, and I actually didn't even use up one of my little samples of it. I think that for this next rotation, instead of rotating through my mascaras like I usually do, I think I'm just going to focus on the mascara and really try to use them up, because I seriously have so many mascaras and I literally cannot keep having so many. Then we have my Shop Miss A AOA Studio Velour Highlighter in the shade Sometimes. This is such a gorgeous highlighter. One thing I did notice while using it the past 3 weeks is that it left a very slight white cast where I applied it on my cheeks, but it honestly wasn't even something that super bothered me. It was just something that like I noticed about it. And then something really exciting, this Bobbi Brown Primer Plus Radiance. It is just a little mini sample, but I did use this up, so this will be going into my empties, and then I did replace it as well. But I'm just happy that I used this up and I'm working through some of my minis. So that is it for things that were in my bag last month. So now we are going to move on to the things that will be going into the bag for the next 2 weeks. So for eye primer, I'm bringing back in my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I'm really hoping to make some really good progress on this. I just want to get this thing out of my collection so bad. And I do not have an eyeshadow palette because I don't like to keep eyeshadow palettes in these bags, but I am bringing in a one and done shadow, and this is the ColourPop Creme Shadow in the shade Flagstaff. It is this really pretty, I swatched it earlier, this really pretty like terracotta shade with very slight gold shimmers in it, and I didn't use it in today's look just because I like to incorporate the single shadow that I have in my Shop My Stash more than the one and done shadow in the look that I create with everything. So I did not use this shade in today's look, but I have used it before and it is really pretty. The single shadow that I'm pulling in is the Lethal Cosmetics single in the shade Synth. It is, you know, the shade on my eyes, this really gorgeous kind of lavender purple to this like blue silvery shift, and it is so pretty. The eyeliners that are going to be in here is my Wander Beauty High Line Liquid Eyeliner and my ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in the shade Red Rock. The mascara that I will be pretty heavily focusing on is my Tarte Maneater mascara. This is more of a drier formula, so I just want to get as much use out of it as possible before it dries out too much. The brow product that I'm going to be using is the Maybelline Great Lash Clear Mascara. This makes for a really pretty brow gel. For face primer, we have my Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer, and I think I could come pretty close to using it up this rotation. This is just like a deluxe sample or a mini of this, so it's not like a little sample, but it's not the full size either, and I'm still kind of trying to decide if I want to repurchase this once I use it up. So I think having it in this rotation will help me make that decision a lot more easily. We have my Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me Foundation, and again, I think in this rotation this will kind of help me decide if I want to declutter this or not. For concealer, we have my Rare Beauty concealer. I really enjoy this concealer. It is really gorgeous and pretty full coverage. We have my KVD Vegan Beauty Lock-It setting powder in the shade Translucent. This is like a big ol' thing of setting powder, and I've made pretty good progress on it, but I would love to just use some more of it up. For my pressed powder, or the powder that I use to like set my face, we have the Ofra Banana Powder. I talked about this in my powder collection video, and I'm still kind of trying to formulate my thoughts on this powder. So far, I do think that I like it, but I'm hoping that having it in this rotation will help me really set my opinion in stone. For bronzer, we have a cream bronzer, and this is my Trestique Color and Contour Cheek Stick in the shade Brazilian Bronze. And this actually comes with a brush on this end, and I kind of think I want to try using the brush maybe once or twice just to see how it works. But it's the bronzer I'm wearing today, and I really like the tone of this. I think it is really gorgeous. Blush, I have my Fenty Beauty Cream blush in the shade Fenty Glow. This is such a beautiful blush. I just really like this blush, and I'm excited to have it in this rotation. For highlight, it is actually a highlight from a highlighter palette, but it is this shade right here in my Beauty Creations Cali Glow highlighting palette. It is the shade in the middle called Santa Monica. It looks really scary and kind of orange in the pan, but when applied to the face, it doesn't really have that orange tone to it, and it looks really gorgeous. For lip liner, we have my NYX lip liner in the shade Cabaret. It is kind of like a deep kind of wine shade, but as you can see, it mixes really well with lipsticks and lip glosses, and I think that it also sheers out really well because it does not look like a wine lip liner on my lips right now. It just looks really pretty. For lipstick, we have another ColourPop lippie sticks, and this is the shade Oh Snap. It is kind of more like a mauve-y light nude shade, and I wasn't sure if I was really going to enjoy this shade, but so far I think that it looks really gorgeous. And then last but not least, we have a lip gloss, and I have my Kosas wet lip oil in the shade Jellyfish. I am not currently supporting Kosas, but this lip oil is really nice. So I'm excited to be able to use this a lot more. So now we are going to go into the makeup look. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, and that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the new products that are going to be in my focus area for the next 2 weeks and the little look that I came up with using all of those products. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you will give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe before you go, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!